Is Dodes beating Herds? Is Loben beating KZ? I don't know. I don't know, and it's not a statement that, like, speaks ill of KZ, or speaks ill of Loben or Dodes, or Volps, or anybody. It's just, it's Furia, man.
It's a tough one, isn't it? I don't think that there's a... Well, the good news is that we're going to find out. We can sit here and wonder all we like, but we will find out at the end of this map. What I will say is that I've predicted every game correctly today. But I wouldn't like to have to give a prediction for this one and ruin that perfect streak. Because it's a coin toss. There's not a great deal in it. Look at the way... Look, I mean, the Fury that we saw yesterday was devastating. But it was against Black Dragons, who really didn't look very good. The w7m that we saw yesterday was very good, and they gave a really good game to NIP and narrowly got the win. They're both coming into today off very different fixtures. One, a real hard-fought win. The other, bit of a rollover and stomp. Now, I don't know how much that bears into what we're going to see today. But w7m have already been through the ringer once this weekend. Maybe that means that they're ready to do it again. They knew it was going to be a tough week. What a shot. No, it's over. KZ's just domed whatever it was that was getting thrown through. A C4 up through the hatch like it was nothing. He is seriously locked right now.
You can see Herd's locked in too. Again, we're talking about how sometimes we just kind of like have this greater trust in FaZe. I see Herds walking like that. Every other team in SAL, I'm like, what's this guy doing walking with that little information? I see Herds doing it, I'm like, oh god, they better run. Like, he's angry. He's come to play. KZ just finding some information on a Dota as Herds, through alternative means, will gather his own little bit of information. Don't miss drone elevator. I just gassed you out. Please don't miss drone elevator. Okay, Loba drops down. Spotted by the shock drone. Herds paying a bit more attention towards Marble will find the first kill of the round. Marble likely going to be something the defense has to worry about, because if Herds is in the lobby, you know he's going to lurk. And if this is where the attack's coming from, a little walk down Marble could very well be in the cards.
Palu's got a tough task ahead of him, trying to hold on to blue as well. Doesn't have anything to assist him. No ADSs, no magnets, no shield, no laser gates. Literally just his shotgun and smoke. You can hear that hatch getting opened. He knows that there's going to be sights trained on his position, and not just one. Oh, they can see the barrel of the gun peeking out. The game is up, Palu.
Oh, no. You see the shield. Oh, tries to time the melee just right, but Nade battering him. Completely bullied on the top of blue stairs, and w7m find themselves in very tricky territory. If they've still got the Shamika canisters, they can burn quite a bit of time, is the ironic bit of this situation. But Furia just have the manpower that if they wanted to, they could barrel on through the site and challenge Volps directly, as long as they weren't completely careless about it. Okay, well, that is an example of Hertz being a little bit silly running in front of the breach, but by giving up his life, does Gone 6 that shield. You can see Furia instead opting to go on the backside. Deathmark Tracker landing, hunting down the Tachanka with the revolver in hand. Deimos is completing side quests, killing players that aren't even his target. Volp sitting back in gold, scared, clutching his lineups like a caveman who's just seen the face of God and can only rely on his torch. Volps is beyond frightened at the Furia players knocking at his door. He'll have his quick peeks, but that's about all he'll get unless JV92 and Fellapox decide to start getting a little too antsy. They will. It's Furia, but they still win anyway.
Look at the speed in which Furia pivot there. As soon as they get that breach open in server, they use a tin opener to open the long wall. That makes it more difficult to bounce the Shumikas around a little bit in that area, because obviously you've got the risk of the Shumika launcher just sending it straight through the hole that the attackers have just made. So it does make it a little bit easier. But recognizing what was in front of them, it took them no time at all. Like, we're genuinely talking a couple of seconds to just go, we're not pushing this, we'll flip it, and we'll push the backside. And immediately, you've got people sprinting toward their new positions. Wherever Felipox has said, this is now the play, this is what we're doing, people are already halfway there. Deimos track, Vendetta, Beautiful kill onto the player, Justin tucked into the site, and then it just moves on from there. Volp's forced into gold. The speed at which Furia make decisions is one of the more impressive things about this team. Because I'm fairly convinced that they didn't know that there was a Tachanka there until the final portion of the round, because it kind of wasn't important up until that point. There's no good being like, oh, there's a Tachanka when you've just got out of drone phase. It doesn't really matter at that moment in the round. It only matters at the end when you're dealing with what is actually left. So whether they knew or not, the Shoemakers were a clear sign that that wasn't going to be the angle to push. And their quick move to plan B is what netted them the first round here.
Would be very Furia to not even recognize that. There's even a Tachanka like, oh, wait.
I just don't think it matters, though. There's no point wasting your brain on it.
No. It's not a critique.
It's genius, because so many other teams would get so tunneled on it.
Speaking of tunneled, Bird's going to be looking down Stock Hall for quite a long time. Dealing with that shield, hoping that somebody will stick their face where it doesn't belong. He might be down right now trying to find some information, trying to find... What is that? What was that? Wasn't a bulletproof. Is that a mute jammer?
ADS, maybe?
Oh, maybe it was an ADS. Oh, Casey gets the first anyway. Loban, unfortunately, I was about to say, probably found out around the checkers position, to be my guess. Loban, lowest rated performer for w7m this stage so far. Player who can really take over games when you let him, and him not having impact is definitely part of w7m's, I think, just struggles so far. Definitely going to be a player that, yeah, you can see down around checkers. Definitely going to be a player that Furia will look to try and take advantage of.
Monty up spiral. Lion scan. Not a lot of information, though. They're guessing and making assumptions at the moment. The elevator is entirely clear. You can see just by how Felipox keeps flicking back over there. And now a nade being shown. They ain't sure at all. That's about as sure as they need to be, though. Felipox has already got himself to double window. I mean, they're just commanding the side from this point. w7m have just opened the door for him and put the kettle on.
If this is the pace we're going at, I don't think you and I are going to be here very long. It's everyone getting in on the action. KZ only just getting a double. All team performance for Furia right now, though KZ may be a little bit ahead. Not even sure what Dota's is to do here. Monty, 3 guns. I just don't see it happening. As for what maybe we can see next time, if you're... Okay, never mind. That Felipox just got fried. Anyway, still the same conclusion. Furia basically just completely had their pick of the litter when it's come to engagement so far. How w7m can play this better in the future? I want to say maybe play closer together, but at the same time, we just had CEO picked apart like that. Everyone's already playing next to each other anyway.
I'd just stick to Clubhouse if I was them. That's a joke. But it isn't going well, is it? Like, how do you just let a Monty walk up the stairs and spiral with 0 consequence? This isn't even the first time we've seen Bank tonight. We saw Bank earlier.
Not even the first time we've seen a Monty up spiral the first time tonight.
No. I just don't understand. I get that they're a good team, but you can't just allow them to... I mean, even... There was even a little bit more between Black Dragons and 9Z in that exchange of walking up spiral stairs.
Whoa.
There was, though, wasn't there?
5 seconds left before insertion. Attackers are moving.
Very rude of you.
The only difference is that Fury had the foresight to bring the Monty.
Hey, they brought the Monty once in that game.
I just remember 9Z just walking up the stairs and getting domed.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's burnt in.
Yeah, that's fair. No Monty this time. Other French attacker. KZ bringing that twitch, but we do have a shield in play. Furia not often known as a shield team, but of course, in the past 6 months to a year, been forced to bring it into their lineup. Not to the point where they run it in basically every single round we've seen so far. Second time on basement. See, also some teams, you talk about Furia sometimes just deciding not to think about things as a way to save time. How many times do we see teams kind of struggle with taking this garage position in case he's like, all right, it's cleared. There's an F-Not. I don't really care if it triggers me. What are they going to do, peek? I have a 417.
I mean, he's literally playing the shock drone as well, and his sole focus was to remove the bulletproof camera. He just doesn't care about the F-Nat. Already. We've seen 1:10, and he's cutting the site in half and got an opportunity onto a player tucked inside a B. Can do basically whatever he wants from this position. Herds has been taken out, though. I mean, that's just one player to watch cameras at the moment as far as Furia are concerned, because they have a heck of a lot of ground here. You can't go swinging the 417 like that.
Yeah, that's the tricky thing about the garage position. It feels like an easy 1v1, but it's also a 417. One misstep or one false reaction, and you are just cooked.
Seemed very late to activate.
Yeah, a little bit. Fury a little late to activate, too. I mean, Loban just getting free reign of the middle floor. Got control of the diffuser
worry, we've
as
got
well.
garage.
Hey, and boy did we have garage, didn't we? boy did we take it. Oh, Fellapox, okay, kind of popping off. Yes, Loban has information on this. But with an isolated 1v1 right here. Ooh, Flash going a little too deep and Fellapox blinding himself. Loban should have the better positioning here. Likely going to acquire a bit of a flick by Fellapox. But no, he's just gone up marble. Loban playing it safe. Smart play. Smart man. Know how to wait out the time here. No calls, no flashes to fall back on. Easy for w7m to wrap that one up. Second attempt on basement going the way of w7m. They get the opening pick and just keep the advantage throughout.
I told you Polly was a KD player yesterday. He could have let Loban get the ace. But oh no, has to swing with the shotgun and confirm the round for w7m. Their first round. Diffuser being rendered useless on the floor inside of open area was never going to be a great start. It was a brilliant push into garage. Well, that's kind of all you can say that was good about that round from Furia. Philippoc's couple of exit frags, it's kind of to be expected when you're 1 versus 4 that you're going to get a couple. But as soon as w7m rallied around that diffuser upstairs and started deploying some of that utility, the Toxic Babe canisters, to just stop him and really snub him out from being able to get up there, it was a wrap. Good first round for w7m to get. And Loban himself doing a very good job. A player that has a lot of potential on this roster, but has, in recent weeks, fallen a little bit quiet. Putting in a position here tonight.
It's a good round. Also... Okay, I actually have an interesting question. Palu has received, some would say, criticism
10 seconds to go.
over the past year and a half, being a KD player, as you said. However, since leaving Liquid, do you think that reputation is still maintained, or do you think it is now kind of outdated?
It's outdated, isn't it? Because he's playing a different role.
Different roster as well.
I still think it's, yeah, I just think it's still quite funny to reference.
No. Very funny.
Yeah, I always find it hilarious how it's like when you talk about the best 2 players in the game, everyone brings Parlo and Nesk up in the conversation, yet they haven't won like an SI or a major or things like that. But then you look at like statistics wise, and yeah, they're up there. Like there's no denying it.
Certainly no denying it here. A lot of best player candidates in the lobby today. Then again, that's just an average day in the South America League.
I was going to say, you're in SAL. You've got at least a 60-70% chance of having one of the best players in the world at a particular job in the game at any one time.
Yeah, you throw a stone and you'll find a contender here. CEO defense with a zombie on the board. Loban's going to feel very happy about not picking that operator throughout the first few rounds. Gone unbanned, and now imagine he could play around stock to his heart's content, aided by a yokai if he wants to get aggressive. He actually is over in checkers at the moment. Like, kind of an odd place for an Azami. He's going to be doing a lot of shot firing over towards square. Maybe he could hide behind some Kibas, but also will allow you just to rotate within the site a little better as well, so certainly still some uses for that primary utility. But Furia have slowed down quite substantially since their first couple rounds on bank. First instead has found an opportunity just around the corner. There's the head. Oh, but Dodez swings in front of it. Really paying attention to the sound cues there, and it pays off.
Ping couldn't have been much better there for Herds either. It was bang on where Dodez was. Dodez just popping up like a jack in the box. JV92 getting softened up a little bit as well here. KZ trying to salvage something from this. Accurate shots on the pre-fire, but not being given the opportunity. The plant's going down. Hello!
Or he's trying at least.
Forced off it by the yokai.
Oh!
Finally, KZ picks up the kill onto Dodez and a second onto Volps. Still the small matter of an Echo available and unsure if there's a yokai. We'll find out now.
Well, not gonna matter whatsoever. Palu might find one, but KZ with just a walk-up stock hallway has found 3 kills to aid that defuse plant. A little messy. It takes a long time to get going, but that's a Furia round if I've ever seen one. Down to the individual performances while facilitating some good objective play. Furia widened their lead by 1.
The old sense plant. Good effort there from Nade to get that down. Again, bit of a lack of info, not knowing that the yokai was there, or just having to try and bait it out, shoot it, get someone to deal with that while you're getting the plant down, and almost find yourself being the bait a couple of times in those situations. But Nade happy to do that for the greater good of the team. KZ 7 and 2 at the moment after picking up a really nice 2-piece in that last round. Not much going W7M's way at the moment. That was a second attempt at a top floor and an entirely different attack from Furia, which shouldn't sound as groundbreaking as it does, but I feel like over the past couple of days, we've seen teams just banging their heads against the same approaches repeatedly. And it's so nice to see a team that has one form of attacking onto that top floor, using the Monty, using different pieces of utility. Okay, the Monty gets banned. They don't even try and make do with something else. Instead, it's just, no, we'll flip it. We'll do a square take instead and CEO windows. Really nice from Furia.
Now we're back to a shield. Not the same shield as before. Where Fellapox decides to run that blitz through. It might be more important where the side is stationed. KZ. R4C definitely something you'll have to be concerned about, whether he's pushing the top floor or the bottom. Actually, not thinking about it, Fellapox creating space up top with KZ R4C behind him might be a nasty combo to clear out this second floor round. Well, that's what happens, we'll see, but Loban, Volps, and Dodez will have to be careful where they plant their feet on the second. Furia look to set up a full clear early on.
Often the best way to go. Facilitated by Nade. Great opening pick onto Volps. Always sounds like a good idea to roam with the Azami, and then you realize you're against Furia. And you haven't really got the support in Dodez that you wished you had. Next player to fall inside of stock as if on cue. As KZ retakes that position. He's not getting bested there this time. With Loban falling and over half the round left, why not just drop into sight?
Oh yeah, I think it's just gonna be one of those games. Probably one of the last alive. Probably the last alive again. Gets one.
This is his time.
This is his time. They're not even planning the diffuser. They don't even have the diffuser. I don't even know where the diffuser is, and I don't think they do either. Okay, but now we're... Okay, let's chill out, perhaps. You can see now Felipox running up, but Felipox is by himself. So as the impact grenade goes out, he's got to be really careful where he steps here. Palu blinded. Felipox turns around and surely drops down the hatch. Okay, KZ keeps a lid on things. That's the Furia logic. Sometimes things get a little silly and they gotta reset. You never deny they always start off strong.
Listen, if you need to use 100% of your brain power on the push, you can't be worried about where the diffuser is. That is a problem for future you to solve. And hey, look, they solved it. Just get the kills instead. KZ is really just running through a lot of these defenders at the moment.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many
That's the
bombs
scary thing about this. 10-2. We're just starting round 6. And he's at a 2 KPR.
That's good, by the way. That's good. That's a good statistic. 2 3Ks in a
Bigger the
row.
number, better it is.
Generally speaking, yes. Especially in the best.
bomb located by attackers.
Loban got a 4K in round 3. It's the only round w7m haven't won. It's the only kills Loban has. It's really looking like it might be one of those games. Okay, Omaru on the basement defense. Really trying to get a... I was about to say. They're trying to do a quick CEO entry. Instead, it's going to be a Ying Grim combo.
Is to defuse a bomb.
Ying Grim and Deimos Dokkaebi. Come on, man.
How do you lose? There's no way you lose this round.
To be fair, Furia can sometimes find a way. Sometimes they cook a little too hard. Now with the setups, just often the individuals are like... Sometimes you just see Furia players walking around and they're like, actually, I'm God. I literally cannot die. And they get shot in the face and they're like, oh, crap. Forgot about that.
I forget which handful of operators it was, but Doki made a tweet and he was like, you literally can't lose if you just play these 3 operators all the time. I think there was some defenders. I think it was like Fenrir and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was going to say, if it was about attackers, I imagine at least one of these 4 operators is on the list.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, first Dokkaebi call goes out. Palu disables it by walking into a mute chamber, but the rest have to manually click their phones. The final one who didn't disable the Dokkaebi call, Deathmark tracker.
Just for good measure.
Just to make sure. Dots will need to be careful. This roam's still, at least for the moment, not dealt with by Furia. Hertz has got the first little bit. But I really might start hoping these w7m defenders fall back. One player sitting on the hatch, I think just dropped down. The outlines don't deceive me. Yes, they have.
Ooh, there's still a player tucked inside a staff, though.
Oh, that's not good.
Not for long.
Oh, and Volps is down. This really is just going to be one of those games. Like, Fury just going to win everything. Dots is close on a corner. This is what's probably going to happen. Fury are probably going to, like, rush in about, like, 15 seconds or so. One of these 2 shotgun operators is going to get, like, a crazy double kill. And then Fury are going to win the round.
I can see that happening, to be fair.
There's one.
Yeah.
Maybe not a crazy...
second to find.
Maybe not a crazy double kill. Maybe just a double kill.
Well, there's still time for a crazy double kill. There's 3 attackers alive.
That is true. We do have crazy double.
Let's not underhype this, you know?
Oh, okay. I really thought another kill would happen there. Come on, one more kill. I need one more. I need one more. Yes! Just with the... Oh! Wait, hold on. Hold on. Smoke canister out. Felipox has to move. Half HP and the flashbang to stall. But Palu can easily keep this.
Oh, it stalled the sound as well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he doesn't know. Felipox has the time to fall off, and he's got the time to re-challenge. That's the Furia differential. Crazy double with the SMG-11, and they still find a way through.
When you'd finished saying how it was going to go, I was going to say, and it'll be a 1v1. But I thought, no, let's not, like, overwork the bit. Let's just let it happen. Everything else was correct. Shotgun kill, crazy double, but a genius play from Felipox. W7M had no information. They didn't know what was going on in the site. And the flash was just perfect to mask the sound of that diffuser going down. By the time that Palu realized what was happening, because he's like, hang on, the clock's still ticking and no one's pushed me, it was just too late. I would love to have seen that kill from Felipox's POV, though, because he has come off the plant and immediately domed Palu.
Attackers need to locate
Dude,
and defuse
I
as
just-
many bombs as they can.
This team, man. I don't know what to say. Because, like, I predicted it, but I still can't believe it happened. And I'm not saying that like, oh my god, it was such a crazy prediction for you to make. It's just like, this team is so ridiculous.
That's it. It's when you put it in the context of Furia, what you said isn't that outlandish.
No, it's not.
Like, that is just a day in the office.
Do you know how many times I've seen that round? Do you know how many times I personally have seen that round? Like, casting it.
Seconds left.
Do you know how many times this probably happened?
Yeah.
Like, oh, Furia, up 5-3. Okay, they've thrown a couple engagements. All right, it's fine. Somebody walked up a hall and killed the next 3. We're fine. See what they can do on the defense is they put Nade on Tachanka duty. You giving KZ the LMG? I don't think so. Dots is literally freaking out about a lone office run out. That's the type of mental damage that's been done by Furia.
Yeah, W7M they're jumping at the sight of their own shadow at the moment. It hasn't been a day to remember. Ooh, good bit of an opportunity here, though. Maybe catch Felipox lacking. Oh,
Very well might.
They're not taking any chances, though. Look at this. We've got an Ossa shield walking up. We've got smokes going down.
Dude.
He's still tucked behind the car on camera, and now he's off. And you've let him know that you come in. And guess what? Somebody else on the side of Furia is starting to join in because they're like, oh, we might be in a bit of danger right now.
I've never even heard those
This has
sirens
just
go
gone
off
from bad to
before.
worse.
I've never even heard those sirens go off before. What the hell? Is that a thing? I have literally never heard that police car go off. That's crazy. They're treating Felipox, by the way, like he's part of he's on the FBI's most wanted list. Like, they are literally pulling out all the stops for this guy.
W7M defended him like he's on the list, though. They're using Chachanka Shumikas to try and get this job, and he still gets the kill on Dots. Balu will trade onto JV. That's going on somewhere else. I don't really care what's happening there. I am fully invested in this garage push. Lobin eventually takes Felipox down. Gives a brief advantage here for W7M, and that garage control that they wanted so badly is now theirs.
Okay, Lobin smokes nade. I don't know if we need to challenge garage there. This should be W7M round at this point. It is KZ and Hurts in the site, and I know they have 2 C4s. Notice even has one of them as an option to track. You've got the advantage. You have the time. The whole 35 seconds, and Lobin has garage control. I mean, yeah, I just don't know if you're swinging the glass. I mean, somehow KZ's not... Oh my god, KZ's killed him, and that's diffuser. Oh my god. No. No, we're not doing this. Birds can call when they walk down marble. He's got the cross on the single door. He's got a C4 to throw out, too. Oh my god, this is so winnable. This is actually so winnable. Maybe not so much as they found Herds. He's prepped the C4. Out it goes. Damages Volps on the walk-up. Gets the Nook. Where's the Mav? Oh my god, Volps gets him down. But I cannot be the only one who, even in the 1v3, saw KZ winning as a likely option.
KZ was going for style points there. He didn't want to win that by just surviving. He wanted to win it by getting all the kills as well. For all the drama that went on in Garage at the start of the round, I think it's only fitting that that is where the diffuser lies cold, and W7M then have to, yet again for the last time, retake Garage against Furia.
Locate and defuse bombs.
So much of the round focusing around that location. Just weird to see.
And the police car going off made it all better.
I've never heard that.
I've literally never heard that before.
I don't know if that's tech. Like, were they shooting the car in a specific way to like make it go off so that there's sound masking?
Ollie, there was not a single bit of tech going on in that round. There was not a
No,
single bit of tech going on in Garage.
Listen, I tell you what. You tune into the Fast Dan live stream on Monday morning, and she is going to be in garage testing in the lab, trying to replicate that sound.
5 seconds to go.
Twitch.tv/FastDan.
She's lighting the Discord up. She needs to know.
Locate a bomb and defuse it.
Got an army of TikTok creators being like, can we do a little... Did you know that on Bang Garage? This is a fun game.
This was the really high trip that we saw last time.
Was
Or
it?
was it not this team? Well, yeah, it wasn't this team, but it was in the same pause. It's lower
Yeah.
this time.
Yeah, well, it was one that was like going diagonal, like up and to the left. Herd's down early, by the way. I don't even know how that happened. Lobin got him, I think. Ooh, Nade. Nade losing a lot of shots through the open area wall. But as the death mark goes out, and w7m pursue their quarry. There's a little bit of a fight back, but Furia will not leave a man left behind. They're trying to get some square action. KZ gets it. 15-4 at the moment, over a 3 KPR out of 7 rounds. If Furia want to throw a few rounds, but KZ keeps popping off, we do have like kill record BO1 territory with this kind of performance. But I just think Furia would rather end the game, to be honest with you.
It's definitely the desired objective. And it was the first 1 to 7 as well. A lot of players low at the moment, both KZ and JV. Just about less than half HP. But any initial sting or bite that was in the early portion of this attack from w7m has seriously tapered off. As they've gained the control that I guess they wanted. Why clearing a roam game is important, I'm not sure. Maybe it's for that. Volps. He's got half of his kills in this round number 8. Been very quiet up until this point. But it looks like there's life in w7m yet. For Leapox. We've already seen him have a crazy clutch tonight, but this isn't going to be another one of those. Dodes takes him down. The Dokubi call just coming in perfectly on cue. w7m not lying down without a fight here on these bank attacks. Like, unironically, looking very good.
Unironically looking good, like genuinely. Like you said, it's like, it's not, I mean, yes, obviously the focus of the garage situation was kind of funny in the first basement round, but ultimately they got the kill and everything around that
Locate and defuse
went
bomb.
completely according to plan. And if garage is your biggest hang-up on a basement attack, that's not the worst thing on the planet. But, you know, we can put that round aside. On CEO,
Attackers have
we have
discovered
immediate
the location
focus
of
paid to
bomb.
the middle floor, open area, and archives. They take down Herds, who's playing with a C4. Good to not only get that control for the layer arm, but also good to take that specific bit off the board. And then w7m are able to reset and take advantage of Furia swinging 1 by 1. There are some good trades, and it is, you know, only a 3v3. But w7m are starting to go toe-for-toe with Furia, and let's be honest, Furia can overheat a little sometimes.
5 seconds left.
Beyond KZ with 15-5. Herds is only 6-7. JV92 only 5-7.
Defuse a bomb.
Not terrible performances, but it is very much a one-person game. You don't need to be the smartest guy on the planet to figure that out when you look at the stats.
Some could say forgettable performances. I don't know who some people are. Just, I think some people may say that. w7m definitely taking advantage of over-aggression and some sheer overconfidence from w7m at the moment. Sorry, excuse me. w7m are taking advantage of Furia's overconfidence. And it is a trait that won't be the first time that we've seen it. They're good, yeah. There's a fine line between being cocky and being confident. I think that they do toe that line more often than not. w7m know exactly how to punish it. And let's be honest, of all the games that they want to win this stage, like, they can say they want to beat everyone and whatever, but they're going to want to win this one the most. There's a lot riding on it. So far, they are 2 rounds behind. But they have shown some decent attacking prowess up until this point. The longer that they can keep this winning streak going, though, the better. At least for round number 9, it looks like it's going to be a walk up these spiral stairs. Now, when Furia attempted this, they were met with 0 resistance. I don't think that they will give the same over toward w7m here. Already, we've got players tucked in, but a great pre-fire there from Dots. He might be on the Monty, but he's still got a pistol.
I was about to say, we say that, but the Monty's just walked up, and the only countermeasures that Furia really have are KZ just looking at the Monty being like, Nade, watch out. That's it. KZ's now doing a little run around, but he's the only player on this top floor. This is such an easy pinch for w7m. KZ's on one today, but no, they should win this every day of the week. So far, we are on the cusp of 0-3 defenses for Furia. w7m only improving with every single round played. JV92 tracked, but Herds knowing he needs to make a play. Creeping up the janitor hallway. There's one. Oh, but the fire extinguisher takes some very important shots. It's JV92 to get the first in this 2v4. Monty's made his way into sight, both Dodez and Dots on low HP. Palu at half. No C4, but just some well-placed shots. Might just be enough for Furia to take that little advantage given. JV92 on the boost angle. Tries to flick around onto the Monty. Loses that fight. And Palu, weary of the backstab, will make sure that everything goes according to plan. 3 in a row for w7m, and we have a ball game.
Dots on the Monty getting 2 kills as well. Pretty incredible. And, okay, I understand what you were saying, that w7m pretty much got given the same opportunity to just walk up spiral, but you can't deny that KZ has seriously dropped the ball there. Like, at least he was in the vicinity, whereas when w7m defended that, there was nobody there inside of elevator. There was no one behind the deployable shield. There was just a bit of utility there, and Furia were almost confused and committed 2 nades to it because they were like, why is no one there? KZ just seriously dropped the ball. And, I mean, nade was just a sitting duck. Like, yeah, he was tucked in the corner, but you know the map well enough. Doesn't take a genius to work out that just behind that barricade is the corner, and you can just pre-fire through it with the Monty. So really good heads-up play, great gap spotting from w7m, 1 round away from leveling it up. If this doesn't end in a weird garage round again, then I can see this going equal.
I could very well see this going equal. I mean, that's really about the only good thing that's happened for Furia's defenses so far, was that garage round, and they still lost it. All right, we were singing Furia's praises. We were riding the high of watching this team play for the first 6 rounds, and now we're in round 10, and I'm like, all right, what the hell was it all for? If that's what we're gonna get. It's a little bit of a different methodology, but kind of the same core fundamentals. It's just Furia fully leaning into the time denial, bringing the Goyo alongside the Tachanka, the smoke as well, sliding into the lineup. They're like, all right. Well, this is probably not exactly what they're saying, but they're like, all right, we get it. We're going to play a little more passive. Knowing Furia, that might still not be the case, but at least they have the utility on board to fully lean into plant denial. Yeah,
it's probably the most meta lineup, especially with these bans, that you can bring for this defense. I think that just goes to show that they've kind of flicked that switch and they've gone, right, we've messed around for long enough now. We need to try and lock this in. But w7m, they've been playing seriously this whole time. They're going to be ready for this. It almost makes things a little bit easier because you kind of know what to expect. When you're attacking basement, this is the lineup that you expect to come up against, so surely they should have the tools to try and deal with it. Nade. Not going to stick around there. Instead, it's going to be JV. Ooh, brilliant work there. Felt like Nade was the bait, and JV92 just positioned nicely to take full advantage of not 1, but 2 hard breaches. Only 2 tin openers for Lobin left now.
You're probably sitting there like, man, wish we had reinforced those hatches. JV92 is going to take out the first 2 hard, or the only 2 hard breachers. Well, 2 of 2.5. Count Lobin. You see Dots prepping the roar doors, though. w7m maybe just trying to pick up the pace a little bit. Door will go out on the single, allow Dots to swing close on the garage angle. Those Vulcan packs there, you're just going to give the heads up to Furia that they should at least be conscious of the marble stairs position. AV92 will raise it, and now we're just kind of back to where we were before. Courage, you don't need to be doing all that. The 5v3. Chill out a little bit. Hazy doesn't... Hazy, you just don't need to be this far out.
Nobody will get through garage.
Okay.
He is defending it with his life.
He just does... I know he got the kill, he just doesn't need to be there.
They are proving a point right now defending garage. Look at where the kit is. How's the kit just in the middle of sight on the floor?
I don't know.
What a weird Roarador. They Roaradored off red.
They've also roared off the single, and they basically have forced themselves into their own bottleneck.
Oh, I was thinking that at the time. I was like, I wonder when you should peak. Maybe after the Goyo canister wears off, that'd be a good... And sure enough, Casey peaks at that exact moment because he knows that's exactly when they'll peak and start walking down.
Also, just like, Hurts is sitting there like, sick. You've closed off that door. There's only one you can walk through, and I have a shotgun.
Yeah. Not convinced about the placement of the Roaradors in that round.
Not convinced about the placement, not convinced about the timing. Still, let's still be fair. First time Furia got a defensive win. Three opening picks on defense, by the way. First conversion. By and large, it's been Furia with the opening kills, and of course, letting w7m get a little bit of a foothold in the round for the final site. They had the option to go to CEO or open area. They said, nah, screw that. Let's go to Teller's Archives. Try to close this one out.
5 seconds remaining. Attacker's objective is to
6-4 could be the last round of the night here if Furia put it away right now. It's kind of weird to gauge where w7m are at in this fixture.
Yeah?
I feel like when it's one side, it's kind of one-sided on the Furia side. Obviously, a lot of rounds you can attest to KZ, given that he's 17-6. I feel like they've also attacked some rounds well, and then that last round just... It's kind of the throwaway that you sometimes have to expect. Really hope we don't see them lose that pace and tenacity that they've shown us so far, though. Logan just seeing if he can find anyone rotating, see if he can punish any defenders just repositioning in the early portion of this round. Nothing really over toward that square side of things, but there is going to be a presence on that top floor. Archive Teller's defense, so controlling the top floor is mandatory. We worry about the lineup a little bit for w7m. If they do get in and clear this effectively, they're not going to have much in terms of vert. Already we're starting to see players just gently drop off, as they've already wasted a good portion of the round in holding this top floor.
I think that is something we see from bank roam sometimes, especially on these first floor sites. Sometimes it feels like teams hold on a little too long or a little too aggressively. Whether this ends up being right or wrong for Furia, they're certainly on the more conservative approach. Will give w7m more openings than you need to. Nate also crouching down. Can go up marble or blue stairs in the late game. Try and flank w7m once they look to go for the executors. That's what Furia are thinking about at this point. Wondering how w7m are going to set up, how they're going to move into these sites. Like you mentioned, we've only got the, well, now one breach charge for vertical, and then the bailiff from Palu. Kill. Goes the way of KZ, Ollie, but I think we still got a long way to go.
Big kill onto the star player. It doesn't really matter with Furia, though. There are multiple of them on this roster. JV just going to be hanging out inside of staff at the moment. B's now getting sent out as well. 30 seconds or so left. w7m need a very good collapse and a very efficient 3-2-1 if they're going to try and make this happen. But look at that red light up the screen. Don't could be called B's. They're throwing everything they've got at this one.
Moving in for the defuse. Yokai moving forth, trying to find the angle. Oh no, Glass DMR not the best for that, but that's why we've got the secondary. Get a line directly on that Echo utility, and Dots moves us elegantly into the post. Nade finally making good on this flank. It's Herds with one and only one, as w7m will bring us to all 12 and still maintain a shot at taking down their rival.
Very important round for w7m to get there. Keeps them in contention right now, gives them an opportunity of points in this fixture. It would be only fitting to share the spoils between these two teams. And for what is, without a doubt, our match of the day, regardless of the outcome here, if it's 7-5 or if we go into an overtime, it has delivered. I don't think you can argue with that. Staff room and open area for what will be Furia's final stand to save this from going into an overtime. Saw this in round number 9. One of the rounds that w7m lost that opening engagement in, but still managed to convert. 3 players alive at the end of the round as well, so it wasn't particularly close. That top floor clear really worked out quite well for them. Dots is going to be back on that Monty. We've seen him be a menace with it tonight. There's been, I think it was this round in particular where he picked up 2 kills on the Monty when attacking this site last time. It's not to say that it'll happen again, but his positioning and his movement on that operator tonight has been very good, and it's just definitely assisted the team. You can already see some of the adaptations that Furia are starting to make here. They're bringing the castle this time and castling off ATMs. It's not going to do too much, but it will slow down and soak up a little bit of utility quite a long way from where it wants to be being played.
And if Furia really want to hold on to that second floor for longer, that's the kind of operator you want to bring to do it. Normally we see it on like a CEO site, right? Where you aren't roaming on the second floor, but part of the site, you're extending it. You're trying to make that a bulwark. Interestingly enough, it's actually 2 castle barricades on the ATM doors. Loban on that Hibana will have to dedicate 2x Kairos apiece to knock them down and give them an option to lurk there, or at least look there sometime during this round. Palu taking a lot of damage from, I'm not entirely sure where, but thankfully with those boogie drones, so long as he keeps a little bit of safety and reservation on those windows, you should be able to just throw them in, get the vert, no problem. I doubt w7 will be all too surprised about some of the setups they're seeing. See how they deal with it.
You can feel the tension in this round a little bit. Things moving just a touch slower. Ooh, potential for a good line here from Dodez. He doesn't know how close he was to a couple of defenders there, tucked into those elevators. Dots has made his way up this marble. Dodez will be allowed to join him. There are players primed and ready for a bit of a flank here if they want to. You can see only 1 player upstairs at the moment, and I imagine that janitor hatch will be open. It is. Herds drop off whenever he likes. With how long this round is taking to come, it's a fine time to be dropping off at 1 minute and 10 seconds. But fortunately, Palu is still alive, and if he can get in there and start to use those boogie drones, there's already 1 being used, so there is a bit of it already to leverage and make use of. w7m need to find a little bit more here. Dots takes a lot of damage there.
This might just be the most passive we've seen Furia play this whole half. Shots ringing out from the shadows against w7m. Poly put to 1 HP and this offender vanishes into the night. Dots the same story. Bellapox has been waiting around elevator for his moment, for his time, and as KZ falls, more burden placed upon his shoulders. Dots drop down into stock. Bellapox sees his man on marble, but calls JV92 in. Allows him to rotate forward. While it's only the 3v3, he's at least forced Dots off the plant, put him in 1 HP. Herds cut down the back line too. It's just 2 players trapped in the site, locked in with Furia, and with nowhere to run. 7-5, and the rivalry remains one-sided. Furia, still the big brother to w7m.